can go wherever you want, see whatever you want to, but a place is only as good as the people you know in it. I think this is a pretty good place. Welcome back, legends.
So I've heard that you want some more, you're ready and willing to settle the score. 90 plus episodes, yet so much in store. That amazing iceberg, we ain't hit the core, Ever wonder what made Devil Man cry, or why this guy conspire with his devilish eye? No need to question or prod and pry. Just watch me on YouTube till your neurons fry. Check it, season 1 got that out of the way. Season 2 kid stuff, you know we don't play. Season 3 that's garbage, better throw it away. Season 4 in the door and it's here to stay. We got hours of info that you can't ignore, like a hit from Truckun or a Snorlax snore. Anime's the currency, and if you feeling poor, just tune into Anime Legends season.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 9th episode of the 4th season of Anime Legends. I don't really expect anybody to be in here tonight in the chat because it is Halloween, but I did have to do a live stream just to keep on track for what we have been planning. And as you can see, for Halloween, I am dressed up as Sadako, the girl from The Ring. Don't watch the tape. But yeah. So today we are going to be talking about horror animes, which I don't really have much experience in. Just because I'm not a big fan of the horror genre. I'm going to take this wig off. I'm not that big a fan of the horror genre, to be honest. Yeah. We're going to get into that. So, starting off the top of my head, what are some horror animes that I know of? One of my favorite horror animes that I actually watched all the way through was Parasite the Maxim. Now, some people might argue it's not a horror anime. I think it's a horror anime just because there's body horror and stuff like that in it. I thought it was pretty good. Excuse me. I thought it was pretty good because it was horror, but it also had a story to it, which was very, very inspiring. Also in horror animes, one of the ones I thought I'd bring up is The Future Diary, and The Future Diary is not much of a horror anime. I mean, there's a lot of gore in it and stuff, but most of the horror stems from the tsundere Yuno Gasai, and just how crazy she is. But yeah. Future Diary is a good one. As I said, Parasite the Maxim. But yeah. Higurashi When They Cry is another one. And most of what I know about Higurashi When They Cry is that there's like these girls who are in like a haunted house or something, and it's also a time loop, but it only loops when they die, and it's also like a battle royale death game. So yeah, there's a lot of that. One of the most brutal scenes in that anime is actually when we actually do have Trix in here who says, yo, But yeah, Tricks, we're talking about horror animes, and you're gonna have to help me out a little bit because I am not that familiar with them. Uh, but one of the most brutal scenes in Higurashi when they cry is a said my mic got unplugged. Hope you guys can still hear me. Anyways, there was one anime I remember, can't remember what the name of it is, but there's one where a teacher like stabs a knife into his neck because he can't control himself. There's that one. But yeah. Trickster says, got the spooky look, I see. Absolutely. Higurashi had some crazy moments. It definitely did. Your audio is mute. So is it still muted now, or can you hear me? But yeah. So there is that. I mean, of course, there's some like classic ones, and like not really horror, but has horror elements in it. But Attack on Titan has at least one person getting eaten, Aaron's mom, in it. That is that's a big element in it, and some of the Titans are just downright scary. I mean, the thing about anime is that most stuff can't really be considered horror, but there are scary moments in a lot of anime. I mean, in what is it? What's that one where the guy has to pay back debts? He has to pay back debts. Anyways, there's one where a guy has to pay back debts and he has to go through like a series of games to get the money for it. And one time he fails and they put a needle under his fingernail, which is pretty horrifying. Then I mean, depends on how much you can stomach, but the executions in Danganronpa are pretty brutal. Probably the biggest moments that I'd want to really focus on are in Akira, the classic anime movie. There's a scene where Tetsuo is in a hospital for like kids who have psychic powers, and one night he actually has a hallucination that his toys have come to life, and there is I'm so sorry. There is a teddy bear. Trick says that one is Sea Control. Thank you. But yeah, there's a teddy bear in there that attacks him, and the teddy bear has a snake for an arm, and like it's bleeding milk out of its face and body, and that's like one of the top tier scary moments in anime that I've at least seen. Tetsuo turning into like the giant blob of fat is pretty horrific as well. But yeah, the teddy bear scene is pretty horrible. So that's one of the ones I really wanted to point out. Another one I really wanted to point out is not so much like in like physical horror, but more psychological horror is the scene where Ed comes back to Shao Tucker's place to discover that Shao Tucker has turned Nina and Alexander into a chimera. That was pretty messed up and pretty horrifying. As I mentioned with Parasite the Maxim, that scene where the husband eats his wife after being turned into an alien, or an alien host, that was pretty crazy. But yeah. But I think the one that takes the cake, and the one I really want to point out tonight, specifically because it was so horrible that it stopped me from watching an anime. I have never seen past episode 1 of the anime Elfen Lied, or Elfen Lied, as some people call it, because the first episode of Elfen Lied is so graphic and gory that I can't stomach I can't stomach getting past it. I've tried to watch the first episode twice to try to get into the anime, and I just can't. The whole sequence with Lucy walking out of the facility and just brutally tearing everybody apart, and having that innocent girl walk in front of her and her just lifting her up and tearing her head off, it just being able to see like her skin ripping and stuff, that really got me. Yeah, and that whole sequence was just so horrible that I can't get into Elfen Lied. I've seen a couple of clips from it later on, and it looks like the fights in it and the gore are pretty bad. I know it's a good story and that she's not like evil the whole time, but the parts where she is evil are just so disturbing. I mean, like those boys were like hurting a puppy, and she completely like blew them apart, like to the point where they were just blood splotches on the wall. I think there's a girl that she fights at one point, and she chops off all of the girl's limbs so that this girl just becomes a living doll. And yeah, from what I've seen of Elfen Lied, it's just not it's not something I'd be interested in watching. But yeah. If any of you in the chat can think of any other scary scenes from anime, let me know, and I'd love to talk about them while we're here. Now, horror animes. This episode is brought to you by my Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/AfroX. You can check it out there and donate to the channel in increments of $5, $10, $30, $50, or $100 a month. It is all up to you. Consider even just like $5 a month, for the cost of maybe a large burger at McDonald's per month. Not even. You could be supporting a great channel that is going to keep doing anime education content. So yeah, it's a good thing. But yeah, check out the Patreon, and yeah. So one one kind of Japanese thing that I wanted to bring up is it's a manga and it has been made into a live action. Actually, I don't believe it has an anime adaptation, but I think I would be remiss if I did not bring up the genius of Junji Ito's Uzumaki. And if Uzumaki sounds familiar, that is Naruto's last name. Uzumaki means spiral in Japanese. And so pretty much the story of Uzumaki by Junji Ito, pretty much there's a curse on this town, a curse where everything randomly will turn into spirals. And this curse is brought on by, I think, the spiral god. And pretty much people in this town hear that the curse is coming, and they're trying to avoid it, trying to pray against it and stuff, and strange stuff starts happening. This girl in the middle of the street, her hair suddenly turns into spirals. But one of the creepiest scenes, and the one that you see the most often from Uzumaki, is the scene where a girl's face slowly turns into a spiral as it bores into her head. And there's a couple of pictures of like her eye actually falling out, and then her all of her face except for her mouth being completely twisted in to become a spiral. Pretty much it focuses on these two main characters who, I believe they leave the town before the curse starts, and then they return after it's already started and the town is just empty because it's already been affected by this curse. Pretty much they get to the center of town and everyone in the town has been twisted into this gigantic spiral. And from what I read in the description, they tried to travel down a spiral staircase to the heart of the spiral to pretty much defeat it, and they never make it there. And at the end of the story, they become part of the spiral and their bodies are twisted together. That's just what I've read from the Wikipedia. I don't know if that's correct or if there's more stuff to the story, but just a moment. I don't know if there's more to the story, but yeah, that is what I know of Uzumaki. I will be right back. I'm doing a live stream right now. You can't be knocking on my door on Tuesdays at this time.
Oh, sorry, man. Don't know that. Thank you. Sorry.
So sorry about that. But yeah, I have never read Spiral, the manga. I've never seen the live action movie, but I think it would be a good experience. I just would not want to watch it alone because from what I know, it's pretty much peak anime horror. But yeah, that is that right there is some of the best anime horror. If you're really looking for it. Not me. I don't like horror, but that's just me. So the talk about Uzumaki tonight is brought to you by my Facebook page, that is AfroX, on Facebook and the rest of my social medias, the official AfroX fan club. If you're looking to get in contact with me or see more content, on TikTok, I am AfroX _YT. On X, formerly Twitter, I am at the real AfroX. On Instagram, I'm at the legendary Afro _X. And then I also run the page DJ Blackjack on Facebook. And if you want to check out the Discord, join the Discord. It is AfroXAMA. And a link to that is in the description of all of my edited videos. So there is that. Trickster says, I learned more. Good, because I barely know what I'm talking about here. I'm actually glad and very surprised that we got to 3 viewers on Halloween, which says something. Don't know what it says, but it definitely says something. Anyways, I have to go. I am heading out to a bar because it is lame to not do anything for Halloween. Although personally, my Halloween is kind of going to continue because as a tradition, I watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Halloween, but this Halloween is special because I will be watching The Ring for the first time, which I've been wanting to watch for a long time. So that will be fun. Anyways, we do have some exciting stuff coming up on the channel. So not sure when I'm going to get started on it, but the next part of A Crap Guide to One Piece will be the Zhao arc. That's the arc where Luffy and the Straw Hats go to a country that is situated on the back of a gigantic elephant. So yeah, that should be interesting. Also, next week's Anime Legends will be the 100th episode of Anime Legends. So next week it is going to be an open stream. Anybody is allowed to join, and we're going to be having games. We're going to be having guests. So yeah, it's going to be a great time. Anime Legends number 100. Be there or be a spiral. Keep YouTubing, YouTubers. Don't fight the fro. And always remember to stay legendary. See you later, YouTube. Bye-bye.